Hi, my name is Matt Carroll, World Class Coaching and Pennant Education, and with the Hub Academy Sports Coach for 2025. I want to talk to you today about a drill that we designed to work on players seeing the field, challenging them mentally in terms of decision making, and something just to keep things fresh as we go into the postseason. This is one of the drills we talked about in episode 5 of the podcast with me and Coach Fed. One of the things that we're utilizing to try to keep our players fresh going into the playoffs. In the high school season in New Jersey, you're going, essentially from June. Once school ends, you have your summer leagues, your summer practices, all that stuff, and you're going and you need to hope till mid-November. It's a long season. It's mentally taxing. I believe in a lot of, keeping a lot of our drills pretty consistent, and modifying them so there's not so much of a, there's confusion. There's not like every day we don't really know what's going on. But with that comes, they get kind of stale. So I think at this point in the season, I'm really looking for things that are mentally, keeping the players aware. They're changing things. With this drill, we're going to have multiple balls. And I talk about that being something like a weighted bat. And you have so much input, so much information. If you're able to take that information and that overload of information, it's like a weighted bat. Take the weight off, the bat feels lighter. You take the information off, you're much more able to comprehend the information that's coming in when you're playing a game with a single ball, single goal, a single target. So what we have here is we have set up 3 grids. Now you can set up more or less depending on what you need or how many goals you have. But we have a goalie in each one of these boxes. And to score, there's 2 balls in, and we want the players to be able to break 2 lines of the grid. So if we have player in black here, player in black here, he's got the ball. If he's able to pass the ball through here, he scores a point. So what we're telling the players coaching points offensively here is, hey, if you can find a numerical advantage, go and attack that space. The goalie is going to be able to easily, take the ball away or block the shot if you were going to make it, so easy. So we're looking to change the point of attack, change direction, and find places where we can do this because we have the time and space, because we have a numerical advantage. If the goalie intercepts the ball here, they just take the ball and they're going to, throw it out for 50-50 somewhere else on the field. So if yellow is able to do that over here, they score a point as well. One extra thing we like to do is have one of the one of the players on each team be the counter, so they're counting all the points because there's so much chaos going on. That's kind of just another thing to put on another player. It's a mental load that they're not only looking, to check for where's that ball, but also are we scoring points and keeping track of all of that. So they're scoring points. What's going to happen defensively? What we want to see is we want to get compact. We want to block these passing lanes that they have to score points. Neither team can enter the grids, and they can't run through them, but they can stand right on the line and block these shots off. So what we want to see from our players then is when we lose that numerical advantage, when we no longer have the ability to play quick passes that are able to move the head and the hips of the goalkeeper and put them out, we're going to switch the field. So we then drive the ball here. This player then drives to a new grid where we have a numerical advantage, where we lost the numerical advantage over here, and they're going to find another pass through here. So defensively, we're working on pressure, cover, and balance. We're working on creating mismatches, making sure we are our numbers even or numbers up in certain areas. We can't cover every single box and every single blade of grass and everything, so we have to be concerted and we have to communicate with what we're doing. We have to make sure that we are sliding to angles as the ball moves. And with 2 balls, there's a lot going on. So there's a lot more to kind of comprehend, a lot more to take in. So you really want to focus on your organization here. You want to focus on getting good body shape to force the offense away from the danger areas, and making sure if you want to funnel them into areas where you're going to have a numerical advantage. So there's so much in the game in just a simple 3 boxes, try to score through these boxes, go kind of drill. But I think it creates a system where they have to make a lot of decisions. They have to make a lot of decisions based on not just you telling them this or what the other players doing, but there's so much stimuli to take in. And there's points where the defense can get lost as well within all of that, and attacking those weaknesses on the defensive side, the offensive side against those defenses is another form of decision making that players are going to have to find in this drill. I found that players really enjoy it. It's high energy. There's so much going on. You have to keep talking. It's some players I felt in the beginning were just so confused. They were just kind of walking around like I don't really know what's going on, and it took a little time. But once they figured out, I really think it energizes the players, and I think that's something we were really looking to do late in the season, going into the postseason. So I'd love to hear some of the things that you guys do to kind of create that mental stimulus to challenge players, not just making it so much the most game-like situation possible, but a game-like situation that creates decision-making opportunities for the players. So I'd love to hear some of the things you guys do in your sessions to find what we're trying to find in this drill. So you can check out a little bit more about this drill in episode 5 when we talked to Jake Aferiat of NJ.com and talked to him about the playoff picture going into the high school season in New Jersey. And again, if you have any ideas, drills, you want to come on the podcast, you can reach out to Matt at pennantcoaching.org. So that's all we got for today. I am Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching and Pennant Education, and with Academy Sports Coach 2025. I hope this session finds you well.